What's up, board game people? It's far too late to be recording content, but here I am. I also have a real job, so I have to continue making content when I can. This is a long news video. There's no way around that. So much news is flying in these days, these just keep getting longer and longer. So I have a question for you. Do you prefer your news in short, digestible bites with only 10 to 15 stories at a time and published throughout the week? Or would you rather get it all at once in a weekly news dump? Let me know your preferences in the comments. Maybe it's time we make a change. As always, I'm so thankful for those of you who are helping to support the channel through our Patreon page. I cannot thank you enough for helping us to get some badly needed equipment. We're well on the way to our first goal of getting some wireless mics, so thank you very much. Live on crowdfunding now, on Kickstarter we have the 3D printable Omni modular display case for miniatures. The design aesthetics are similar to other great looking cases offered lately, but this is a DIY option for you makers out there. I love the extras they've been throwing in with the stretch goals as well. Weirdwood Manor has just over 8 days to go and is well funded and just looking better and better. We also have Altar, Realms of the Gods by Red Joker, bringing back the hit card game with new expansions in small doses. This is one that doesn't have to break the bank. There's 1 week left on Altar. Over on GameFound, we have Guards of Atlantis 2, the tabletop MOBA, doing quite well with over $500,000 in funding and a little over 3 weeks remaining. And then we have the AR Vault Story Dice. This is one set of unique dice for role-playing games, and some expansions for some of their popular games as well. The campaign has 1 day remaining, so check it out while you have the time. Finally, I wanted to offer a special mention for Tale of Bravery on Kickstarter. While it's a long way from funding this go-around, beyond what you see on the page lies a very well-received game system that, if funded, could lead to an amazing new universe to explore. This game borders on an old-school adventure crawler, and it seems to have quite a lot to offer. Reviews from those who've played it at conventions have been beaming. It might not be your cup of tea, but let's at least get some eyes on the project and see if it has something to offer you. Coming to crowdfunding this week we have Clank Legacy 2, Acquisitions Incorporated on Kickstarter. And on GameFound, we have the Hunter's AD 1492, my pick of the week, and Skytier Horde, Monoliths. Now, let's get to the news. Ships carrying the Witcher Old World have set sail on their way to destination ports. The progress chart shows up to halfway through the freight process, with time to clear customs and reach hubs built into the estimates. Links are provided in the latest update to track the progress of the ships. Readdressing the tray lids with misplaced symbols, they're giving backers 3 different options. Really 4. First, you may not care. If you don't, there's nothing to do. Option 1, they're offering to deliver them to local game stores and clubs for pickup. Option 2, you can get the lid for free by pledging to a future project. Option 3 is getting the lid free and paying for the shipping via GameFound. I like that they're offering different solutions, but I'm too indecisive to choose an option. The lid issue is fixed for second batch copies. All other languages other than English and Polish are in the second batch. The paper components for these versions are in mass production now and should be sent to the partners very soon. Final assembly will be completed by mid-June and shipping will start then. Teburu and the Bad Karmas are back with an update on high shipping costs. These packages contain electronics and batteries, and in many countries they must be marked as dangerous to ship packages and raise the already high last mile costs. The core game shipping was estimated on the Kickstarter page, but most orders contain the 2 to 3 times bigger and heavier Saga pledges and higher. This has contributed to the higher last mile quotes. Major areas of concern for costs in Canada, Asia, and the Oceanic region. For Canada, they've come up with a solution after trying to negotiate lower prices, and mostly it's failed. You'll pay the costs that backers in the US are paying, and they're covering the differences themselves. For Asia and the Oceania regions, they're still working with their partners trying to bring a final shipping cost down. They'll provide an update on this as soon as a solution is found. Quick but good news from the League of Dungeoneers campaign. Boxes for the US have reached their hubs and are being inspected and readied for shipping once their turn in the queue is up. The Dark Quarter has issued news of a massive delay. They grossly underestimated the time needed to create this project and have delayed the delivery of the project from October 2023 until June of 2024, more than half a year. What isn't adding up for me is they're setting the amount of art required for the game, but show good progress on their progress chart, which is incidentally only showing progress on art assets. They also mentioned writing being more than originally thought, and I'd venture to guess that's where the real delays are coming from. Unconscious Mind has posted a mid-spring retrospective update. They're testing with Johnny's development notes in hand and plan to open up the most updated TTS mod for playtesting soon. Dreamworld's draft rulebook is ready for inspection and linked in the update. They received pictures of the updated meeples included with the game, and some photos of their amazing sleeve packs. Delays, yada yada, etc., and all that. I hope you enjoyed my news presentation. In all seriousness, it seems like most everything is seeing setbacks for any number of reasons these days. This month's update from Stormsunder is giving us a state-of-the-game address of sorts. The PVC for Wave 1 is complete, but I thought that was pretty well complete for the last 3 months, so that's good, I guess. They've ditched the chart because it was saying mean things about them not getting much done. Basically, they're endlessly testing the game and hope to be done someday soon. When they are, they'll need another 1 to 2 months to finish up the written materials, and then it'll go to translations, which will likely be another 3 to 6 months to complete. So they don't expect production to start before the end of the year. And this is only for Wave 1. This update covers trophies that heroes get by slaying their adversaries and can be exchanged for loot. We also see an update to many of Alexander's cards and abilities, a rework of the stat skill tests, and their usual smattering of PvC minis. The pledge manager for Tamashii, Chronicle of Ascend, will be closing on May 8th. Make sure to finalize your pledges. This week we're getting a look at some of the mini samples in their almost complete forms. A quick update from Silvercoin Age of Monster Hunters reminds us that the Pledge Manager is open and will be for a while still. They walk through how to update pledges for $1 backers, and we get a quick art update showing off the latest townsfolk art. We're also getting a peek at the Spellblade miniature work in progress. Reagan has been unlocked for Deep Madness Reborn in the Pledge Manager. Incidentally, the Pledge Manager will close at a yet unannounced date in May, so get ready for that one. We got some pictures from the factory of the plaster and rubber molds that are used to help create the final metal molds for the miniatures. Pre-production of all the reprint material is prepped and ready to go to print next month when final numbers are in. Tooling for the new minis is underway, game testing is finished, and they're working on scenario rules and background stories next. Good news from Dungeon Universalis. They're still working on the game, but they expect to have all files to the factory before the end of May. From there on, we run on the factory's timeline, which should hopefully have shipments starting in September. New challenges includes 150 poker-size cards, 138 mini Euro-size cards, 96 bestiary cards for a total of almost 400 cards. We got a look at a few of them that have been posted on the Dun Facebook group. The finale of the update goes on to talk about usage and great adoption of the web app for creating random scenarios, and how there's still a demand for a printed random system. This seems to still be on the table and is something that I'm sure we'll hear more about in the future. We have a huge update from Chronicles of Dronagor, Age of Darkness Apocalypse. QR codes for all the doors are being constantly updated and added to their new web app. Doing so allows them to add more door content and translations on the fly. Samples of the rider miniatures are in, and oh my god, these are huge. These are going to be incredible display pieces for those talented enough to paint them, but even without paint, they look amazing and intimidating. Production of Wave 2 is running smoothly, and we can expect to be seeing more production photos soon. New progress graphics show Apocalypse leaving China in June. Polish and Italian translations are coming along nicely and will be presented to the community for review in the future. Apocalypse offers a richer, more refined, and fluid experience where your choices and decisions affect both story outcomes and the abilities that your characters gain. Individual personalities are taken fully into account. Companions are now more frequent, and the darkness no longer follows the darkness hunting mechanic as closely. Spawn points are now monsters, not tiles. The focus is making more cinematic moments and fun. It's an interactive, immersive storyline with over 40 characters to choose from. The end of the update gives us a bit of a closer look at their upcoming Dante project as well. They've enlisted the help of a PhD Dante scholar to guide them through the purgatory and into the depths of hell. And we can expect their first update on the GameFound project page soon, entitled A Broad View of Dante. Frostpunk has given us another great post-campaign update. They've added another difficulty level to the game, giving us the Explorer difficulty. The Explore difficulty level has been designed with those of you in mind who, in their struggle against the apocalypse, wish to primarily experience the plot-driven side of Frostpunk, as expressed in its events and scenarios. When played on this difficulty level, the game retains its high degree of challenge but becomes less unforgiving, taking some of that pressure off your backs. This in turn allows you to focus more on experimenting with the development of the ideal community, pursuing different narrative paths, or making decisions which, at the cost of being less than optimal, might be a little lighter on your conscience. They have cards to support this new difficulty, ready to print and play, and they've also included an alternative advisor deck. Oh, and they also mentioned their next project, Apex Legends the board game, which will be launching on Kickstarter on May 17th. The launch date for the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Pledge Manager has been pushed back a few days until March 8th due to Polish national holidays. Late pledging will be available in the Pledge Manager. We have a smaller update from Middara Unintentional Malum. First up, pre-orders end on May the 31st. Shipping will charge starting on the 1st of June. Shipping shenanigans are being spoken to here. The reason prices of shipping are fluctuating is they're working to get the best deal on shipping prices. Canadian shipping prices are in their crosshairs, and they're examining many options to bring those prices down. If you've already gotten everything you were supposed to with Wave 1, and you're not expecting anything else, and the system tells you still owe for shipping, it's incorrect, ignore it. It will be corrected. If your shipping total comes out to around, let's say, $10,000, again, this is something they're working on, and it will come down. You do not owe them your first child to get the game shipped, and honestly, they'd rather you keep it. They also give another good look at exactly what's being shipped out in each wave. Wave 1 of shipping will happen around August. Wave 1.5 will ship in June. Wave 2 should ship sometime in the 4th quarter of this year. The next update will be showcasing some of the add-ons, and they'll be announcing another add-on that's been often requested. Wait, really? Eyes at the prize, ladies. Let's get this one out the door. Frosthaven, Gloomhaven, really all of Sephiroth Fair's stuff was at Gamma. Yay! On the fulfillment front, there's a bit of a hiccup due to staffing shortages in Germany, and they're hoping to have shipping done there sometime around May 11th. Asia and the South Pacific is largely shipping complete. For the Oceanic region, the Laser Rocks inserts have arrived and they're getting them sent out now. The pledge manager for Sea of Legends, Vengeance of Empires is now closing at the end of May. They've moved the date back due to development hiccups in the application. Their development lead has returned and work on the app is in progress again. The story goes on for the Queen's Dilemma. They're hard at work shaping the kingdom of Ankist and creating even more stories and opportunities for you to shape its destiny. Work on playtesting and art also continues tirelessly, and they plan to start shedding light on gameplay features in future updates. For now, we have some beautiful art and the promise of a grand tale to hold us over. A quick reminder from Ivion Season 2's campaign. The Backer Kit Pledge Manager will close on May 15th. Backers received a big thank you from the Hexplore It Fall of Ancients update. They charted the path forward for us as well. The project is currently sitting at 92% written, 90% designed, and 20% illustrated. The Pledge Manager is expected to launch no later than June 1st. Late backing will be available, early shipping will happen quickly, so get your addresses in as soon as possible. This update also teases their next project, their 5th title, The Mountains of Godai. If you haven't heard, Dragori Games will be releasing a new crowdfunding campaign in the coming months titled Ultimate Tanares Adventures. This campaign is multifaceted and will include foreteller narration for the game. The campaign will also include upgraded books. These books are a reorganization of the journal, quest guide, and city books into single books covering several weeks each. It should be stressed that there isn't anything new in these books. They're just a reorganization of the current books to allow for less flipping back and forth. Next, they'll be offering a 2 big box storage system to help better organize the overload of boxes and contents that make up the game. An upgraded city and world phase board will be offered in cardboard as opposed to the glossy poster stock from the current version. Wasteland's Expedition will allow you to play Arena Contest with Tanares Adventures rules. They recommend you play this way only after playing through Tanares Adventures so you have a firm grasp on the system, as Wasteland Expedition offers a real challenge from the beginning. As is normal with such campaigns, they'll be offering an upgrade kit to current backers. This upgrade kit will include some updated cards and errata, as well as the new unified books, and an improved rulebook and tutorial, alternate skill trees, and the Wasteland Expedition. This is primarily a reprint to offer everyone another chance to get in on Tanares Adventures or to pick up some items they may have missed. This update has proved to be quite polarizing, and understandably so. They're announcing this at a time where many backers have not received their rewards from the original campaign, or are missing items to make their pledge complete. Timing of the announcement may be a little bit off, but it seems the new project should be launching once the vast majority of packages have been shipped. There's a need for expediency on their part, as the faster they get a spot in line at the factory, the faster they can turn around this new campaign, which they expect to have shipped out within the next 6 to 7 months. They've even brought on a new team member to handle logistics as their primary role to ensure things go smoother this time around. In the US, all games have been sent out from their original campaign. In the EU, the remaining missing items will arrive from China this week, and they are 75% shipped. In the UK, the missing items will set sail on May the 5th from China. In Asia, everything is ready to ship and will start going out this week. In Mexico, shipping is ongoing. For Brazil, the orders are prepared, and once VFI solves a last-minute problem, shipping will commence. The rest of the world should have their packages departing in May. Australia should see their missing items arrive at the hub in the next week or two. In Tanares RPG news, they hope to have the latest player's guide posted to the beta testers on Discord this week before finalizing the document. The sourcebook is also making significant progress. Next up will be the narrative book. They expect the books to be complete by July and final PDF versions released then. Shortly thereafter, they will complete the other rewards such as the GM-less adventure deck and then begin production, which should be much faster than the board game rewards. Arcane Wonders has announced Call of Duty the board game this week. You'll be able to play on authentic COD maps, select your favorite loadouts, and play competitively in simultaneous action combat. 2 core sets can be combined for up to 4 players, and they hope to offer a cooperative campaign in the future. It'll be interesting to see if this is a quality offering or another big-budget IP bust. The Nanolith team is quite happy with the progress they're making on the game this month. Layout has been the primary focus, with many people being assigned work in this area. They didn't quite get the missing chapters in the encounter book finished in April, but chapters 4, 5, and Sector Alpha still need a little bit of work. Deadlines have been shifted slightly from mid-May to the end of May to accommodate this extra work. They're still hopeful to start shipping in September, but to do that there can be no further delays. In order for the cards to be printed, the layouts needed tweaking, and it's been a massive project. This should hopefully be completed by the end of this week. The reworked miniatures have arrived from Longpack, and they're giving us a good look at the heroes, which look to match the comic style of the game perfectly. This has been an exciting month for Solar 175. Fulfillment is officially underway, and backers are already enjoying their games in many regions. In the US, Canada, and the rest of the world, fulfillment has started and should be done within a few weeks. In Australia and New Zealand, staffing shortages for Aetherworks are causing slight delays, but they hope to wrap fulfillment as soon as possible. In Europe, the freight should arrive at the hub soon, but customs are causing delays. Fulfillment for the UK and East Asia regions is complete. Personally, my package arrived without any shipping notification yesterday. They also revealed the title of their next game that'll be coming in the next few months. Luddite is a roll and write campaign game set in the Solar 175 universe. The update includes a teaser trailer if you're interested. The latest update from Tainted Grail Kings of Ruin campaign deep dives into exactly what the version 2.0 of Fall of Avalon and its campaign is. 2.0 focuses on fixing issues and problems found in those games over the 4 years since release. It addresses parts of gameplay most divisive amongst players, provides easier entry into the game, and introduces small quality of life upgrades. It is not an overhaul of the Fall of the Ancients to add Kings of Ruin mechanics and rules to the earlier game. If you're looking for specifics as to what's been changed or you have questions, the update goes into more depth than I have time for here and is complete with an FAQ that should clear up any nagging questions. Check it out in the link in the video description below. The latest update from Euthia Resurrected's campaign is guiding us through the Fog of Necromancy scenario from the Fierce Powers and Crawling Shadows expansion. In the scenario, you must find your way through the fog to locate the Necromancer's lair. The map will only be revealed as you explore using special spyglasses to find your way. You start with a single spyglass per hero, and you must locate towers and bring necessary resources to them to obtain more. If you don't move fast enough, you'll likely encounter twisted and corrupted elementals. Will you be able to find your way through the fog in time? An April pre-production update is in for Merchant's Cove Mastercraft. This update focuses on changes made to the mushroom farmer. The farmer was able to produce the color of goods with ease, but were often unable to get the goods to the proper size with consistency. They made 3 changes to address this. They changed the 2-time 3-move order token to 2-time 4 moves. This allows the player a bit longer to complete the growth cycle. The functions of black and white spores were also changed. Now, 2 black spores can be used to force a growth cycle, and white spores are now 1-to-1 wild spores. Finally, they added more opportunities to get these spores during the recall action. They've also been working on finalizing the graphic designs for many of the Mushroom Farmer's components, with some receiving size updates and new layouts. They also touch on having to nerf the detective a bit, as he was overperforming. Last, the Megabox design is still in progress, and hopefully they'll have more to share on that soon. The zombie horde has taken over the Marvel Zombies factories, and they're sharing some pictures of ridiculously large herds of zombie miniatures all jumbled up and ready for prime time. They've also received white samples of the boxes with trays for many of the remaining expansions. Production of Wave 2 continues, but they're creeping closer to completion. An update for Destinies Witchwood has been let loose into the wilds, and it brings with it news of the Pledge Manager closing. The Pledge Manager was expected to close yesterday, so consider it closing at any moment. Get those pledges complete if you haven't. This update is showing off the different modules from the game. The adversity module has been rebalanced to reduce player frustration while maintaining impact. Character traits have gone through a bit of a redesign to highlight that there are 3 choices: talent, fortune, and focus to choose from. We get a look at the design for the trays from the storage box, and it's looking to have a bit of common sense functionality to it, which is always great to see. They'll be showing pictures once full production is in swing. The finish line is starting to come into sight for the Dawn of Madness campaign's team. Translations are beginning to arrive for Emily's materials, Catherine's finale stage gameplay is completed, and art is at about 95%. Claude's Wanderer stage encounters are complete, and his art sits at 95%, layouts at 70%. Linus's story writing is at about 80% complete, and testing for his final stages is in full force. Overall, they estimate Wave 1 to be 80 to 90% complete at this time. The remainder of the update gives some samples of Wanderer encounters for Claude. To avoid spoilers, I'll let you check them out for yourselves in the link in the video description. Boardcubator, creators of the cancelled Kingdom Come Deliverance board game, made a return to crowdfunding recently with a new campaign for their game L. They also put out a small update stating that Kingdom Come Deliverance is still on hold as they've been unable to find a partner to help finance the creation of the game. They're heading back to the drawing board and trying to maintain the experience while offering a somewhat more achievable vision. It'll be interesting to see what they come back with in the future. This week we got a major update on the Knight's Journey for Kingdoms Forlorn. Each Knight's Journey will be told over 5 difficulty tiers, 5 pivotal stories or chapters of investigations. This will drag your knight through 20 delves, each time raising the stakes and the challenge ratings of encounters. Each knight's sheet will feature a progression track which translates eventually into how your power is measured. Your power level will determine the challenge rating of the encounters you will face on each delve. As you progress through A Knight's Tale, you'll experience both pivotal stories, which will offer some of the best rewards. The rewards vary based off your decisions and outcomes. These rewards take many forms, but one is discussed in the update: subclasses. Subclasses allow for an evolution or reimagining of how a character may be played. Think a bigger Little Sir for Sir Song. The subclasses also bring with them new talents that are interchangeable, offering intense customization. Investigations are not without reward either. You can only pursue so many investigations, so you have to be quite choosy, but the rewards can range from valuable gear to stat increases and more. They also discuss roams, which are another way to explore the world without pushing progression. These roams allow you to collect additional resources, complete outpost contracts, and even practice against different enemy types. These would be a great way to show the game off to players that are just dropping in for a one-off. Roams also allow you to retry investigations that you may have failed. They also talk about gear upgrades that will allow you to extend the useful life of some of your equipment. These can allow you to increase stats or boost damage with weapons. It sounds as if there are quite a few upgrades on offer. They also touch very lightly on endgame once you've reached the conclusion of your Knight's Tale, stating that this is an opportunity to complete investigations that you missed out on previously, maximizing your gear and chase down the final few secrets of your tale. There's so much more to endgame though, but that will be the topic of another update. They say the devil is in the details, and I can happily say that Steamforged listened to backers and added textured and sculpted bases to the miniatures of Elden Ring. The miniatures they're showing in this update with the new bases look worlds better than their flat-based counterparts. They state that they'll move into development updates soon, and they need the 4,000 backers who have yet to complete the Pledge Manager to do so. I don't see a closing date for that Pledge Manager yet, though. League of Dungeoneers is moving slowly towards its destinations. In the US, shipping should start in the next week or two. The games are already at the hub and awaiting their turn in line. The ship bound for the UK should be in port. The ship for the EU is headed towards Sweden and then back to Germany. Shipments to Canada, Australia, and China should be booked by the end of this week. Documents are being uploaded to BoardGameGeek, so if you'd like printable versions of different things, or to see the FAQ and errata, check there. Last but certainly not least, we have a huge update from Harakiri Blades of Honor. Development is complete with the exceptions of one-shot scenarios. There is still testing and modifications to be done, but they're at a good point with everything. The date for the end of discounts has been moved to May 30th. Payments for shipping and taxes will begin on June 6th, and the Pledge Manager will officially close on July 7th. We got an intro to the Wrath of Gods expansion, which functions as a bit of a boss battler, giving you 4 new characters to play and unique AI decks to control the 4 sacred beasts that will face off against you. They've added a new face to the team. Marta comes to the project with a great background in the Spanish board gaming sector and as a talented graphic designer. Gaming Rules has posted a new exploration phase video walking through the finer details of how that phase works, and we got a sample of the 84-page art book for Harakiri Blades of Honor. This update's painting spotlight goes over color palettes used for 2 of the miniatures and some quick tips for OSL. Demo boxes are going out to several content creators soon, so expect to see some additional coverage of game components and such soon. And they also mentioned my interview with Joel Torres of Synergic Games. We had a great conversation about Harakiri, the industry, and everything in between. I learned so much about the game. If you haven't already, go check it out. So like I said, that was a lot. Thanks for sticking through it all. Please, please, please let me know in the comments your opinions on whether these news videos should be short and put out throughout the week, or if you like getting the one long video all at once. We have quite a few videos coming down the line. I have a how to play video being worked on for Phantom Epoch. I'll be starting to cover Shadows of Brimstone in more depth with several videos on the way. We have our normal monthly videos, the upcoming campaigns that I'm following, and the month in review video for April. Work on the game table is progressing daily, and as soon as I have time, I'll make another video to share progress. Gen Con is opening up their event list next Sunday, so I'll be looking over that for any surprises. In short, this year is heating up. Thank you to everyone watching, commenting, and supporting the channel on Patreon. If you happen to have a few dollars laying around, check out our Patreon page and consider becoming a member and helping me get some new equipment and new opportunities for content. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and bell like you're ordering a pizza so you won't miss anything. Have an amazing week and stay frosty, my friends.